हेलो फ्रेंड्स, यू आर वाचिंग ई बाय पाठशाला। आज हम पढ़ने वाले हैं पोलन पिस्टल इंटरेक्शन के बारे में। पोलन पिस्टल इंटरेक्शन होती क्या है उस बारे में पढ़ते हैं। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। इन द पोलन पिस्टल इंटरेक्शन द पोलन ग्रेन आर ट्रांसफर्ड फ्रॉम द मेल रिप्रोडक्टिव पार्ट दैट इज एंथर टू द स्टिग्मा ऑफ द पिस्टल दैट इज अ फीमेल रिप्रोडक्टिव पार्ट, and the interaction between pollen that is a male gamete and the stigma that is a female reproductive part, that interaction is called pollen pistil interaction. As the name suggests that pollen is a male gamete and produced by anther, and the pistil is a female reproductive part. The interaction between pollen and the pistil is called pollen pistil interaction. This is the structure of pistil. This is the stigma which receives the pollen grain, and this is the style region. It is the interaction between stigma and the ovary. This is the ovary, that is the anther. This is filament, and this is the connective. Filaments support the anther, which are embedded in the flower region, and the connective is a portion between anther and the filament. Pollen, when reach at a maturity level, it produces pollen grain. These are the pollen grain. When the anther reach at a maturity level, it produces pollen grain. These are the pollen produced by the anther, and these are transferred from anther to the stigma region. The numerous pollen grain are transferred to the stigma region. Stigma region is a receptive part of the female reproductive part. It receives numerous pollen grains. As you see in that, these are the pollen grains. Only the compatible pollen grain with the egg produce pollen tube. This is the diagram of pollen grain. Pollen grain contain two cells. The bigger one is the vegetative cell, and the smaller one is the generative cell. The generative cell divide and produce two gametes. As you see in the diagram, these are two gametes which are produced by the generative cell, and this is the tube nucleus. This is called the pollen tube. Only the compatible pollen grain produce pollen tube, which pass through the style region, and which is directed by the fusiform apparatus that is present in the egg region. One of the gametes that are produced in the pollen tube are passes from the fusiform apparatus. fusiform apparatus directed these gamete, and one of these gamete are fused with the egg cell, and this is called fusion. And the second gamete which are interact with the central cell, that is the polar nuclei, and these form the triple fusion or primary endosperm nucleus. The primary endosperm nucleus store the reserve food material in them. As you seen in the diagram, this is the fusiform apparatus. The fusiform apparatus guided the pollen tube. This is the pollen tube. These are the two gametes. One of the two gametes reach at the egg cell. This is the egg cell. The gamete fuse with the egg cell. This process is called fusion. And the another gamete interact with the polar nuclei and form the triple fusion. Because triploid cells are formed by interacting polar nuclei with the gametes. If gamete and triple fusion occur at the same time, this is called double fertilization. The triple fusion form primary endosperm nucleus. Also called PEN. These store reserve food material in them, which help in later stages to the embryo. This is all about pollen pistil interaction.